This is Ross Feingold, hosting the Taiwan Hashtag program, coming to you live from Taipei, Taiwan, hosted by the Storm Media Group. Today we're going to be talking about the big announcement in Taiwan about presidential politics. Terry Gou,郭台銘, the founder of the Foxconn HonHai technology products manufacturing group, unexpectedly announcing on Monday night of this week here in Taipei that he was not going to run for president. So if he was going to run for president, the deadline was today, Tuesday, September 17th, and that was a deadline in order to file your intention to collect petitions, signatures, in order to apply, or in order to be eligible to run as an independent candidate. Independent meaning not as the candidate of a political party. Why is he running as an independent, not as the candidate of a political party? Because under the election law, only 4 political parties were eligible this cycle to nominate a candidate: the Democratic Progressive Party, the Kuomintang, the Nationalist Party, the People's First Party, and the New Power Party. Well, Mr. Gou originally sought the nomination of the Kuomintang, the Nationalist Party. He announced earlier this spring that he was going to join the nomination process, the party primary. The party primary was adjusted kind of to fit his schedule. The party issued a proclamation saying, "You're a loyal party member. We love you." And Mr. Gou said, "I love you back. I'm going to join your primary, and I'm going to support whoever wins the primary. I'll support the primary process." That was starting from April. So over April, May, June, there were internal negotiations about what the primary process would be. It was ultimately decided on a telephone poll. It involved other candidates, and America, who's rumored to be running for president, ultimately decided not to. But anyway, he lost. Terry Gou unexpectedly lost. He lost by a lot. Who did he lose to? Mayor Han Kuo-yu, the mayor of Kaohsiung, who was unexpectedly elected in a landslide election victory last November in Taiwan's local elections. And ever since then, there was a lot of supporters of Han saying, "Han, run for president. We love you so much as mayor, even though you've only been mayor for a few days or weeks or months. We want you to run for president." Initially, Han said, "No, I don't want to run for president," but he gave in to the popular demand from his supporters and Kuomintang supporters. He joined the primary process. Eric Julie Lun, who was the KMT's candidate 4 years ago, who also a former mayor of New Taipei City, was another candidate in the primary. There was a few other minor candidates. But anyway, Han Kuo-yu won with over 40% of the collective vote. And once all the different polls were compiled and analyzed, divided, weighted, etc. So it was a big victory. So what did郭台銘do? He didn't say, "I'm going to support Han Kuo-yu," although he had indicated earlier that he would support whoever was the winner of the primary. So ever since the Kuomintang primary ended in July, August, first week, 10 days, 2 weeks of September,郭台銘has been rumored to be running for president. He met many times, and his team had a lot of conversations with the aides to Wen-je, the mayor of Taipei City, who originally many people had thought was going to run for president as well. Then it seemed like once Terry Gou lost the Kuomintang nomination, that he would look for a way to cooperate with America. So maybe Gou would run for president as an independent candidate with Wen-je's endorsement, or vice versa. Maybe Wen-je would run for president with Terry Gou's endorsement. Or they would run together. One would be the president, one would be the vice president. Well, clearly they all couldn't really make up their minds. But what happened in the last few days? Last Thursday here in Taiwan,郭台銘, he issued a public letter saying, "I'm quitting the Kuomintang." Even though just a few months ago he said, "I love the Kuomintang," and the Kuomintang said, "I love you back." And he joined their primary, but he issued a public letter very critical of both the party as well as some of the party leadership, criticized that they were mostly in it for themselves. People were very selfish. Clearly, he didn't like the primary process that was ultimately decided on. Maybe no surprise he lost. And you could say that the primary was created, or the process was designed to help Han Kuo-yu win. There might be some truth to that. But anyway, here's Mr. Gou, who said, "I love the Kuomintang." Now, 4 months later, he's saying, "I don't love you, and you're all like really into this for yourselves, and I'm out of here." So he issued this letter, but it doesn't seem to have changed public support. So last week we looked at some polls. It showed that郭台銘, Terry Gou, was maybe in the high 20s, and Han Kuo-yu was in the mid to high 20s. Tsai Ing-wen was in the low 30s, so she had a lead in a three-way race. doesn't seem that Guo Taiming saying, I'm leaving the Kuomintang last week really resulted in any kind of popular support for him. And in fact, some people may have reacted negatively. They said, wait a sec, today you're saying you don't like the Kuomintang, you're criticizing them, but a few months ago you said they're a great bunch of people and I'm going to run for their nomination. So maybe his messaging didn't really connect well with the voters, at least as far as that strategic move. And in the last few days, people started to say, well, wait, what do you really stand for? You said you were going to be the Kuomintang candidate, or you wanted to be, and now you're criticizing the Kuomintang. So what else is the reason for your candidacy? And in the last 4 or 5 days, in these final few days, when he had to make a decision, at times it seemed like he was going to go for it. He was still talking with other potential significant personalities who might support him, including Mayor Wen-je, former legislative UN Speaker Wang Jingping, also a Kuomintang politician. There's been a lot of speculation that he would support Terry Gou, Guo Taiming, if Gou decided that he was going to run for president. So all this, kind of internal deliberations were going on over the past few days, which was a holiday weekend here in Taiwan as well. But Gou still had a number of public events. But it didn't seem like there was a great flow of support that was being created over the last few days prior to the deadline. And then there were some interesting foreign policy issues. Guo Taiming said that Saudi Arabia of all places, where he recently visited, that their announcement to lower the visa fees for visitors from Taiwan had to do with something he said during his meetings with government officials in Saudi Arabia when he was there a few weeks ago. The Taiwan government immediately said, I don't think so, Mr. Gou. That's not what happened. Actually, the Saudi government reduced visa fees for visitors from all over the world, not just Taiwan. It's not anything you did during your meetings with Saudi government officials. And, to the extent that people saw this news over the last couple of days, they might have said, hey, wait, well, Mr. Gou, why are you claiming that this was something that you achieved, and the government is saying, no, it's actually a Saudi Arabian decision that they did for the whole world, nothing to do with Mr. Gou. So a lot of criticism from the government here in Taiwan when Guo Taiming, Terry Gou, said that. And so it may have backfired on him that he made that statement. But let's look at some more specific reasons. Actually, maybe it really comes down to money, okay? So keeping in mind that Guo Taiming, Terry Gou, the founder of the Foxconn HonHai company, one of the largest contract manufacturers in the world for electronic products, consumer electronic goods, most notably the iPhone. So he left the company earlier this year. He resigned all his roles in the company to run for the Kuomintang presidential nomination. So he stepped away from the company, but he's still the largest shareholder. Media reports in Taiwan this week said he personally owns 9.65% of this company, so that represents billions of dollars in value. The company is facing a number of challenges. The first challenge, the iPhone 11. It's not the iPhone IX. It's not the iPhone Xi like Xi Jinping. No. It's the iPhone 11. Okay, so product just launched this week. Obviously, they need the leadership of Mr. Gou to overcome any challenges. Usually with a product launch, you find there's some flaws, there's some problems that need to be worked out. Apple probably very happy that Mr. Gou is not running for president just for this reason alone. And of course, there's the trade war issue. So yeah, Xi Jinping, I crossed out his name, but they make a lot of these products in China. We have the tariffs from Donald Trump administration in the United States. It's going to affect the supply chain and the success of these products. So I'm sure Apple's very happy that Mr. Gou is not running for president. Sharp, technology company that Foxconn acquired within the last few years, they're still trying to integrate it because Sharp was losing a lot of money. This takes a lot of management time. So I'm sure investors around the world who are holding shares and looking at the integration progress, they're really happy that Guo Taiming, Terry Gou is back, and he could help overcome any challenges with the final stages of integration of Sharp. The next big issue facing the Foxconn HonHai group is their Wisconsin project, right? Remember this project, billions of dollars of investment. It helped Terry Gou get numerous meetings with Donald Trump. But now there's some criticism that the project is not progressing per the schedule. Maybe it's not going to create as many jobs. The governor of Wisconsin, who had been a big supporter of this project, got voted out last November. The new governor hasn't said he wants to kill the project, but he's not been as enthusiastic a supporter. He's been a little bit skeptical. So the company's reputation, its relationship with the Donald Trump administration are certainly on the line here, at least in the United States. So Mr. Gou, if you're going to be coming back to Foxconn HonHai, well, certainly you'll be able to help with the finalization and the implementation of this mega project in Wisconsin. Keeping in mind we're going into the U.S. presidential election, and Wisconsin is a battleground state. So the success of this project in Wisconsin actually is going to be pretty important to Donald Trump's re-election. So I'm sure Mr. Trump is probably happy that Terry Gou is not going to be running for president. It might still be able to get involved with company activities. So what does this mean for the major politicians here in Taiwan? We'll stick with our whiteboard. Han Kuo-yu, mayor of Kaohsiung, the nominee of the Kuomintang, probably pretty happy about this. Why? Because it means the vote for the Kuomintang won't get split. So there's some assumption that if Terry Gou is running for president, he might tear away some of the voters who might normally vote for the Kuomintang candidate. Maybe true, maybe not. But anyway, it's not an issue. Maybe Terry Gou will even support Han Kuo-yu. Maybe he'll even be campaigning for him, notwithstanding the recent criticisms. We have to keep in mind that in his statement issued Monday night and in a video that he posted on Facebook Tuesday morning here in Taiwan, Terry Gou said, I am a big supporter of the Zhonghua the Republic of China. So he's not an advocate for Taiwan independence. He supports the Republic of China. If he really means that, then his candidate is Han Kuo-yu in the Kuomintang, because that's the party that is going to identify most closely with the ROC. So we're going to say for Han Kuo-yu, it's probably a positive. Okay, what does it mean for Tsai Ing-wen, President Tsai? Probably maybe a positive. At least there's not a third-party candidate. And at least in the one-on-one polls with Han Kuo-yu, she is far ahead. Some polls we looked at last week, it had her up at something like 44% to 33%. So maybe it won't hurt her. It could help her. We'll say possibly helpful to President Tsai as well, that Terry Gou is not going to run. Wen-je, well, America had kind of attached his political fortune or future in the last few weeks to the possibility of Terry Gou running for president. But America, very smart this morning when he met the media and he was asked about this here on Tuesday morning in Taipei. So Terry Gou is not going to run for president. What does it mean for you? He said, well, I'm just going to focus my new political party on legislative UN elections. So getting people from his party into Taiwan's parliament. So not necessarily a negative for him either. Look, he's still going to be mayor for 3 years, no matter what happens with the presidential election. So if he's not going to run for president himself, then at least he could focus on the legislative UN election. So not necessarily a negative. There's going to be a lot of speculation that this is negative for him. It's probably not. Again, he could be mayor for 3 more years. He's got his new political party, which will try and get some people elected into the legislature. So not so bad. And one more person who announced they were going to run for president today, former Vice President Annette Lu Xiulian, suddenly announced she's going to run for president, and she's going to be running with the endorsement of a party called the Formosa Alliance, which seeks to formalize Taiwan's separation from China. So that might hurt President Tsai if it tears away some voters who normally would vote for the DPP. But obviously, we'll be talking about this in the months to come as we get closer to Election Day on January 11, 2020. I'm Ross Feingold, and you've been watching Taiwan Hashtag.